Good morning. How is everybody doing? I hope everyone's day is off to a good start. I just got to the office, and I don't know about you guys, but I really love to be the first one in the office because if you know newsrooms, they could be quite distracting and loud, and everyone's just super chatty, which is great. But there are times when you're, crashing on a deadline that you just need to get your story done. You need to, so I just love getting to the office before anybody else is here, getting my coffee and getting situated, clearing my thoughts, looking for stories, and I have to say something like, in this job, it's not like you work set hours. Just because I'm not in the office doesn't mean that I'm not working. I'm always working. I'm working from when I wake up to when I go to bed. I'm responding to emails. I'm looking for stories. I'm communicating to people throughout the day, whether it be an interview for today or an interview for a week from now. As a reporter, you're just constantly working. That's why it really pays to do this if you love it, because then it won't feel like you're working. And in anything sorry about that. Anyways, in anything I did it again. Anyways, in anything that you do, it really helps if you love what you're doing, because then they say you'll never work a day in your life, right? Even though that's easier said than done. But yeah, so just because you're not technically in the office, I feel like I'm always working. And you know what? There are some days when I'm having a super stressful day and I, want to rip my hair out. But at the end of the day, I still love my job because it's ever changing. I feel like I'm constantly evolving, challenging myself. It's never the same. And it's just fun. You get to everything from breaking news to filming a package. You get to get creative, and the sky's the limit in this line of work. Yeah, and also because, say I'm not technically supposed to be into the office until like 12, right? Well, say I'm doing a story on, whatever it may be, but it requires interviews of government officials or state officials or city workers. Their work hours are like 7 to 3 or 8 to 4, sometimes 9 to 5. So what am I going to do? Am I just going to wait? Oh no, I'm not supposed to be into the office until 12 o'clock, so I'm not going to reach out to them. I'm not going to work, until my scheduled hours. That doesn't make sense to me. So, I'm of course going to reach out and start trying to effort these interviews as soon as I know they're going to be in the office, and, they'll respond to me. Because say if I don't wait until like 12, or say if I wait actually until 12 or 1 o'clock, right? That's going to be around their lunch break, or they're getting ready to go home, and they're not going to want to respond to emails or the likelihood of you booking that interview for that day before they leave, which is giving them maybe, 2 or 3 hours notice before they're going to, end their day. It's highly unlikely you're going to get that interview. So you have to be proactive and kind of think of how you can go about landing the interviews, because at the end of the day, people just care about, did you get the interview? They're not going to care about the reasons or the excuses, whatever. And I feel like that really goes for a lot of things across the board in life. Many people just care about, did you get the job done? They really don't care about the excuses or the reason why it didn't get done. They just want to know, did the job get done? And yeah, you just got to do it. All right, guys, so I'm working on a couple different stories today. The NYPD has officially been outfitted with 20,000 body cams to help with accountability. I told you guys about this story about a week and a half ago or so, about a week ago, that I started working on it back then. Today, I believe the producers want it for air, so I'm going to be working on that. But also, I'm working on new research that suggests that male and female infants have brain differences that start in the womb. So what I'm going to do is I'm also going to be doing an interview. I got in contact with a psychologist, and he is going to come and to the office so we could do the interview. I have my photogs setting up in the studio right now to, get a nice interview atmosphere going. And I've also reached out to, of course, the authors of the study that supports this research. I've also reached out to a couple other infant brain experts, like infant neurosurgeons and infant research specialists, because I want to get their expertise on this. So I'm going to do that interview here in about 15-20 minutes or so. And in regards to the NYPD story, we're going to go shoot the stand-ups in front of an NYPD precinct. Again, the stand-ups are when I'm on camera at the beginning of the story and the end. Sometimes we shoot a bridge in the middle of the story, but we want to get the NYPD precinct because, of course, it's about the NYPD, so it's relevant to my story. And also, I want to get reaction from people on the street, which is called MOS. Like I said in one of the other reports, it's man on the street. However, it should be called POS for person on the street. But I'm gonna get reaction from New Yorkers, see how they feel about police wearing body cameras. Do they think this is going to help with accountability? Do you think that it'll help prevent crime? Or not like the fact that police are constantly surveilling those around us? They're constantly surveilling us, How do you feel about that? Are you concerned about your privacy? These are just a few of the questions I'm gonna ask, and I'm just thinking off the top of my head. But yeah, so I want to incorporate that aspect in my story, as well as response from the NYPD, the department, and maybe other state or city officials. But yeah, thinking off the top of my head. But yeah, so I want to incorporate that aspect in my story, as well as response from the NYPD, the department, and maybe other state or city officials. But yeah. Guys, so we just stepped in the studio, and look what we have set up thanks to Michael.
Hi guys.
So tell me, wait, before we take a look, what was your motivation behind this design?
Well, I mean, whenever you try to design something for a set, I feel like it's got to make sense for the story. And since it's about boys and girls, I wanted to give a baby room kind of like feel to it. So
because we're talking about babies.
So I used my baby, and I also used, the boy-girl symbol, and just try to make it feel, nice and pretty. Really is what I was going for, like what my wife would like when we designed our baby's room.
It's so amazing. The story is on the differences between the female and male brains, starting at the womb. And so Michael, my awesome camera guy and photog, he has designed this for us for the interview that we're going to do, and then also probably for the stand-ups when we go to shoot this. All right, so he says he has a money shot right here. We're going to take a look.
So I'm always looking for ways to bring in. So I don't know how close you can get to this little screen there on top of the GoPro. No, on top of the GoPro.
Oh wait, okay.
See it?
Oh, so do you guys see that right there? Okay, so this is one camera, and then we have the GoPro on top. So We're gonna be on top.
I don't know. So follow with me. I'm gonna lift it. Ready?
Okay.
Ready? Here we go. It's gonna come up just like that. And it's gonna do a reveal of the actual full screen there, which should be really nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
So then we're going to see the studio shot in the back.
Right. So it's going to start on you guys, and it's going to be this kind of like wide shot here, and then when we come up from that shot there, it's going to come up, and it's going to reveal actually in the studio with an even wider shot.
Wow. Very dramatic.
Yes.
Wow.
Bringing everyone into the story and letting them really feel like they're participating with good camera movements.
See how important the shot... Oops, my hand. I just said, see how important the shots are, then my hand is like blocking it.
That's hard to do.
So I did a quick outfit change because I'm filming 2 stories in one day. So it doesn't look like, I have the same outfit on. Anyway, I'm going to go get my interviewee, and we'll take a look at some behind the scenes footage. Okay, you guys, I just did my interview for my one package about how babies have brain differences that starts at the womb. Now, I just got assigned another story about how can travel through, I think germs can travel up to 1,000 miles on their own. Kind of like a kicker story, I guess. So I'm going to be working on that. I have to also do the NYPD story. Now that I've finished the interview, I'm going to write my ins and my outs, the parts that I'm on camera for the NYPD story. And then we're going to go downstairs. On the way to go to the NYPD precinct to shoot the stand-ups, we're going to do MOS, get reaction from people on the streets for this story. But I'm also going to knock out another MOS for this other story on how germs can travel up to 1,000 miles on their own and get people's reaction to that also. So I'm going to try to kill two birds with one stone. Then I'm going to go to the NYPD precinct, shoot my stand-ups, come back here, like log my interview that I did for the baby differences story. And but first I got to do my script for the NYPD. You have to do that to have a story, right? I'm sorry, I'm working on a million different things right now, but we're gonna get started. All right, guys, so I'm on my way out to go get some sound on the street, people's reaction to the NYPD story that I'm doing about police being outfitted to enhance police accountability. And my photog is setting up right now, so let's go do this. It is such a nice day outside. Oh, I cannot wait for summer. These are the days that I love being out on the street and getting reaction from people doing my story. Here's Michael, all set up.
Hi, how's it going?
You got everything set up for us. It looks like a base, so let's get some MOS.
Hold on.
Reaction of people on the street. Do you mind if I ask you one question on camera?
I guess I'm okay for now. I don't really know how I feel about the body camera thing.
Well, I mean, it strikes a number of questions. Like, are you concerned about your privacy considering the next officer you might see? Can you tell me this on camera? That would be really, it would be helping me out. He's been outfitted with body cameras. Do you mind if I ask you a quick question on camera?
Nah,
Okay. The officer now has a body camera on them, and I'm just asking people's reaction on the street. Do you mind if I ask you a quick question on camera? Okay, great. Alright, you guys, we just wrapped it up, and now we're heading back to the office. We're going to start importing the interviews, and I am going to log them and decide what sound bites I want to use to incorporate it. Alright, you guys, round two. It is a busy day today, but it's all good. I love it. Anyway, so I'm going to the precincts right now. I'm just gonna walk because it's not too far, and sometimes that's quicker than just taking an Uber or a taxi or the bus or subway. But anyway, I'm heading over to the precinct right now where my photog is actually there already. He set up the shop because I had to finish writing my script and sending it off for approval. So I'm going to meet him right now. We're going to knock out these stand-ups because I have to run back to the office because I have a Skype interview in 30 minutes. So we got to bang this out real quick. But we're going to do it because I got my coffee in hand and working with a good team. So should be fun. Okay, we're getting close because there are like a ton of NYPD cars. And note to self, probably shouldn't be wearing heels when you're out in the field like this, but girls gotta do what a girl's gotta do. Alright, so we're here. Oh, there's my photog right there. He's got everything set up. Almost out of sight. Alright, so I'm here. He's testing now. Gonna do white balance and make sure the light looks good, not too harsh. Yeah, and then we're gonna do a couple run-throughs to make sure, you know, I want to get like the perfect inflection. I want to make sure I'm saying everything correctly. I always like to take my time a little bit. If we if we can. Again, I have an interview in 30 minutes, so can't take that much time, but all right, so it's always important while you're doing these things, you want to always check the audio. Right now, Michael just discovered that my mic doesn't work. So if you're just looking at the shot and, oh, it looks good, and you just run with it, you might be in trouble when you get back to the studio, because if you have no audio, you don't have a story. So he's checking the audio levels again. Hopefully it works. Uh-oh, we're still having issues. Oh, guys, this could be bad. Bad news.
Might need to be forward on this one, sorry.
Major reform for the NYPD. Now more than 20,000 uniformed NYPD officers have been equipped with body cameras, making it the largest body cam rollout in the nation. And the NYPD says they want to roll out more. I didn't like it. Major reform for the NYPD. Now more than 20,000 uniformed officers are equipped with body cameras, making it the largest body cam rollout in the nation. And the department says they're going to roll out more. 3, 2, 1. Major reform for the NYPD. Now more than 20,000 uniformed officers have been equipped with body cameras. Yeah. Did you hear that horn?
I did.
All right, I'm going to redo the stand-up. Major reform for the NYPD. Now more than 20,000 uniformed officers have been equipped with body cameras, making it the largest body camera rollout in the nation. And the department says they plan to roll out more. So far, the NYPD has about 3.5 million videos since the program started in April 2017, and they report about... Let's see that again. 2. So far, there's sirens, but we're just going to do it anyway. 3, 2, 1. So far, the NYPD records about 86,000 videos per week, and since the program has launched since April 2017, they have about 3.5 million videos, now raising new concerns on how the department is going to review all that footage. Right now, the NYPD records about 86,000 videos per week, and the... Alright, let's do that again. 3, 2, 1. Right now, the NYPD records about 86,000 videos per week, and since the program was first launched back in April 2017, the NYPD now has about 3.5 million videos they have to review, now raising new concerns on how the NYPD is going to sift through all that. Just finished the stand-ups. I don't know if you can really tell by the video that I took, but we had to stop a couple times because of noise in the background, horns honking, people walking in front of the shot. So when it's a pre-tape, you have to be mindful of all of these things. So that's a good thing about a pre-tape, because then you can make sure the shot's perfect, the audio is great, there's no horns or obnoxious distractions. The thing is, when you're live, you just have to wing it, and you have to just deal with all of those other distractions. And you know, so sirens might be going by, taxis might be honking, people might be yelling, and you just have to, you know, be prepared for that. But now I am running back to the office. Well, not running, but just walking briskly, because I have an interview that I have to do via Skype. Thank you. Via Skype, and then I have to track my piece after that and edit it, and we have to feed it. So just got back to the office. I have about 10 minutes before I have to do that interview, so I'm going to track, and by track I mean read my script and record it, so then we can lay B-roll on top of it. Yep. All right, check, 1 2 1 2 3 2 1. The announcement comes after a court ruled last month that body camera footage is subject to public disclosure under law of New York. Now, every police officer, sergeant, and lieutenant in every precinct now has one of these. And the department says it plans to roll out 4,000 more body cameras by August to specialized units like critical response teams, counterterrorism forces. I want to say that again. My airbud just fell out. 3 2 1. The announcement comes after a court ruled last month that body camera footage is subject to public disclosure under New York law. Now every police officer, sergeant, and lieutenant in every precinct now has one of these. And the department says it plans to roll out 4,000 more body cameras by August to specialized units like the Critical Response Team and Counterterrorism Force. Police Commissioner James O'Neill said in a statement, body-worn cameras enhance the safety and accountability of the dedicated men and women of the NYPD while improving their ability to ensure public safety. The move comes after nationwide outcry for more police transparency and accountability following a slew of incidents that surfaced showing police violence on Black communities.
You say after nationwide?
After nationwide outcry. In 2012, 17-year-old Trayvon Martin was shot and killed by Neighborhood Watch volunteer George Zimmerman. The Black Lives Matter movement officially started when Zimmerman was later acquitted of murdering Martin. Then in 2014, protests erupted across the country when 43-year-old Eric Garner was killed by an NYPD officer, Daniel Pantaleo, after being put in a chokehold on the side of the road. That phrase became a key part of the Black Lives Matter movement. Then in 2015, 25-year-old Freddie Gray was arrested for possessing what police describe as a switchblade while being transported in a... All right, so I just finished the interview. Now after I talk to him, I'm going to want to change a couple things in my script. We only have an hour to bang out this package. Okay, since I had just done the interview and I made changes to my script, I filled them in. Now I'm gonna retrack a few things, take a couple things out, so I could make some time for the sound bites I chose from that interview. Major reform for the NYPD. Now more than 20,000 uniformed officers are equipped with a body camera, making it the largest body cam rollout in the nation. And the department plans to roll out more. The announcement comes after a court ruled last month that body camera footage is subject to public disclosure under New York law. Now every police officer, sergeant, and lieutenant in every precinct now has one of these. And the department says it plans to roll out 4,000 more body cameras by August to specialized units like critical response teams and counterterrorism forces.
Not only does that give us evidence for when things aren't sure or stories are mixed up, I think it's a really good idea that we have body cameras on especially the enforcers of the law.
Now officers are required to turn on cameras when making arrests, issuing summonses, or searching someone on the street.
They have little or no impact on the quality of policing. They don't reduce citizen complaints. They don't reduce the number of arrests, etc. Police seem to be using them primarily as tools of evidence gathering and positive PR.
The move comes after nationwide outcry from the Black Lives Matter movement for more police transparency and accountability, following a slew of incidents that surfaced showing police violence on Black communities. The Black Lives Matter movement officially started after a 2012 incident when 17-year-old Trayvon Martin was shot and killed by Neighborhood Watch volunteer George Zimmerman. Zimmerman was later acquitted of murdering Martin. Then in 2014, protests erupted across the country when 43-year-old Eric Garner was killed by NYPD officer Daniel Pantaleo after being put in a chokehold on the side of a road. That phrase became a key part of the Black Lives Matter movement. Then in 2015, 25-year-old Freddie Gray was arrested for possessing what police describe as a switchblade. While being transported in a police van, he fell into a coma and died on April 19th from injuries to his spinal cord.
They say get back, we say fight back.
Demonstrators took to the streets, and the National Guard was dispatched in an attempt to restore order.
I think it would help police officers to actually get convicted and indicted for the crimes that they do commit as police officers. I think situations like Eric Garner and Trayvon Martin wouldn't happen if we had accountability for the police officers and them actually be penalized for the actions that they take.
The footage should go to an independent agency that should determine who should have access to it, and that way the police can't pick and choose what they want to release for PR purposes, what they want to give to defendants in criminal cases. what they want to give to people who are captured in these body camera videos.
Right now, the NYPD records about 86,000 videos per week. Since the pilot first launched back in April 2017, the NYPD has recorded about 3.5 million videos, now raising new concerns on how the department is going to review all that footage.
Well, I hope you guys liked another one of my stories, and if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and like always, if you like this channel, definitely subscribe. I'm going to keep providing you guys with content that I think that you'll like, and if you have any suggestions, please put your input in the comment section down here, and I will get back to you. Until next time, see you guys soon.